Kelce has been dominant every time he's played in the Super Bowl, racking up 350 receiving yards, just 50 yards shy of joining Jerry Rice as the only players with 400-plus receiving yards in Super Bowls. Finally, I've teased her all morning. My girl has arrived, Mina Kimes.
Hi.
I mean, 2 days in a row, I get to see you in the flesh.
Such a treat.
Right? Who's better than us? I'm just going to have to come out to L.A. and visit you.
What's
That's
that
all.
face?
Hi there.
Hi, Steve. How you feeling? How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful.
You doing good? We got 45 more minutes together.
Oh,
Let's lock in.
I got a long day. My day just starts.
No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this.
I understand that. It doesn't finish.
You always have to have the last word.
There we go.
Let's stay focused.
You gave me the first.
I'm in charge. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in charge. Bye-bye. Mina, did the Chiefs need a vintage performance from Kelce to win the Super Bowl?
I think so, not just because it's Travis Kelce, they don't really have a traditional number one wide receiver, but because of the matchup. What do we know about this Eagles defense under Vic Fangio? Ton of zone coverage.
Yes.
They play top down. Travis Kelce is overwhelmingly their answer versus zone coverage. It's been that way for years, but on the season, he has 95 targets against zone coverage. No other Chief has more than 31. So it's very hard for me to imagine a world in this game, given this matchup, where he doesn't have a dominant game and the offense isn't efficient.
I mean, when you think about Travis Kelce here, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce's Wi-Fi is always booming.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you that one. The Wi-Fi is always connected. When is it better connected? In zone. Mm-hmm. So you have a seam. Versus zone, why would I run to get open? If I'm already open, right. I'm not going to run to get covered. I'm sorry. I'm not going to run to get covered. I'm just going to find the open zone. There's so many times as I'm watching Travis Kelce, and I'm seeing him just stop. I'm seeing him just lift his hands up. Hey, I'm there. And versus this particular situation, does it have to be a vintage performance? No, just do your job. But if those opportunities come where you have that, then you're going to see him be extremely effective.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for him to be vintage because I think they need to take him away on third down because he's the reason they stay on the field and keep it going. But I love the maturation that I've seen from Xavier Worthy. He's blossomed into their number one receiver. I thought I would see a little bit more of D-Hop, but what I've seen is Xavier Worthy and Patrick Mahomes have a little bit more confidence in him. Juju showed his head in the championship game, made 2 big plays, and he's capable of doing that. But Kelce, could Kelce, is he going to be what he was, say, against the Texans? I don't know if they're going to allow that to happen because Cooper DeJean would probably take that matchup, who does very well. We know Fangio loves to play nickel defense, 4-2-5. He believes he can put pressure on you with his front four. But I can see Kelce having a big third down and staying on the field. And maybe that's going to be enough. But I don't see him having those 7 for $150 and 2 touchdown games. And I don't see that.
To me, it just comes down to this. Do the Chiefs need a vintage Kelce performance to win? That is the question. Well, if it ain't him, who's it going to be? Are we going to bet our money on Juju Smith-Schuster? Hollywood Brown? Xavier Worthy? Are we going to do that? I don't think you're going to do that in a game of this magnitude, particularly when history shows it ain't just about the 350 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 4 Super Bowls that Travis Kelce has been in. It's about the fact that 84% of the time that you targeted him, you had those completions. Yeah. 31 of 37. He's reliable. Everybody else on the Chiefs, 60%. That's a 24% drop-off. So if you're in a game of this magnitude, anticipating that the Eagles are as loaded as they are or as formidable as they are, you got to go to try what's tried and true and tested, and that's Travis Kelce. The Eagles don't have to find a way to neutralize him. Remember last year, at the start of the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce, he ultimately bumped into Andy Reid and all that brouhaha. Why? Because he wasn't getting the damn football, and the Chiefs were trailing. He's like, get me the damn ball. Yeah. Get me the ball. Ultimately, it's going to come down to how effective and efficient Travis Kelce is.
You make a really good point. If the Eagles make a concerted effort, we are taking out Travis Kelce no matter what. If they play man coverage, Xavier Worthy has really become their answer for man coverage, then his production might be limited. But as Cam said, when they play zone, that man's spatial feel, that ability to get open, if there's a scramble drill with Mahomes, we know it's going to 87.
And he works, Lord, forgive me for saying this. The legs ain't what they used to be. The mind is willing, but the body ain't able. And the thing is, the zone, because he can't run like he once could. We see it. He doesn't get open against man like he once could. Right. Xavier has those fresh legs, and that's why he's a threat against man coverage. But he'll find the zone. Now, he understands. They on the same wavelength. Remember when he made that dive in that Superman throw?
Yeah.
How did Kelce know to go into that second window?
Yeah.
But what about the argument that he didn't have he's had over 900-plus yards last year in the regular season, and then all of a sudden he's got 32 receptions in the postseason. This year he's had over 800 yards, and then all of a sudden the postseason arrives, and then he's more formidable. I'm just saying Travis Kelce might have lost a step, but he has shown that when the moment arrives, he can find a way.
Yes.
That could be the case here.
Can I call an audible real quick and ask you a question? As a Hall of Fame tight end, I wanted to. We talk a lot about, especially if Patrick Mahomes goes out and wins the Super Bowl, the comparison of him and Tom Brady, right, in that GOAT conversation. But do you think it's necessary that Patrick Mahomes wins a Super Bowl without Travis Kelce? When you look at a guy like Tom Brady, who did win 3 without having a Gronk or an Aaron Hernandez.
No, I don't. Me personally, I don't think so. See, I think the thing is what people make the mistake at is that they look at the Patriots players, Mina, and it's like, well, they're not any good.
Yeah.
They might not be good anywhere else, but they're great in that system. You look at the Edelmans, you look at the Amendolas, you look at the guys, the Deion Branches and the guys, the Givens and the David Pattons. They work well in that system, and the Patriots do a great job of picking a particular guy because it's hard to be a number 1 receiver when you go 1 week you might get 5, and the next 2 weeks you might not get 5 total. Yeah. And so every number 1 receiver can't play for the Patriots. And so it takes a special type of talent to play in New England. I don't think Patrick Mahomes, I think if he wins, man, a three-peat, I don't know where you are on this. I don't know if we'll ever see this again. But if he wins a three-peat and gets another one, 5 is enough for me. I'm going to have to say Patrick Mahomes to go.
It's not just about Travis Kelce. I go back to the AFC Championship. That was not a big Travis Kelce game because they played a lot of man coverage.
Yes.
So Xavier Worthy became – that's about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Kelce's amazing. They don't have the Super Bowl accomplishments without him, but it's not entirely dependent on Kelce. I think we all agree.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, Kelce put up really good numbers with Alex Smith. But we didn't talk about Trav like we talk about him now until my homeboys got that starting job.
2 things, really, because Brady has always had somebody from his past to kind of set the tempo in his absence. Gronkowski was in Tampa. So even there, having a person who knew how he is, having these type of meetings and saying Gronk is probably, I don't know personally, but I'm pretty sure he's like, yo, this is how Brady is.
Yeah.
He's expecting this. So no matter what it is, he still had somebody to usher in what the expectations was. As far as Travis Kelce here, I'm looking at, or Patrick Mahomes in particular, we can't chase ghosts here. The Kansas City Chiefs has proven time and time again they're going to win the game how the game needs to be won.
Yep.
If it's man-to-man, of course it's going to come down to everybody else going to make a play. If it's zone, cool. I'm going to still do what we do. They are the team in situational football that thrives the most. I've said that numerous times, and you can't mention that enough, especially with this game.
They lose Tyreek. They lose that explosive ability. And now they shallow cross you and pick you to death.
And
just a quick question. Just a quick question for all of y'all. What we've seen from the Eagles defense this year, is there anything about this defense that tells you they can be different in a positive way compared to anybody else that the Kansas City Chiefs are going against over the years?
Well, Shannon was talking about the evolution of the Chiefs offense. It's about yards after the catch. Nobody in the NFL defends yards after the catch better than this Philadelphia Eagles defense.